things they happen for this country, Nigeria now wa. Nigeria now wa. Is it that the APC party or the APC government, Tinubu, represented by Sanwo-Olu in Lagos State, is going after Peter Obi through his brother? Because tell me why Peter Obi's younger brother's property in Lagos, Ikeja to be specific, has just been demolished without any notice, nothing of that sort. Can you imagine that? The brother said that, when he tried to speak with the security agency on spot, where the demolition was in process, these people told him that, there was a court order to that effect. And they also said something like, they are demolishing the properties because it's owned by unknown people, shanty, illegal structures and shanty sort of. And with this picture that I'm looking at, it doesn't look like a shanty. And it doesn't even look like an illegal structure because this building is not a new property. It's not a new building. It has been on this land for decades. So why now? Why now did they discover that this is an illegal structure? You would think that an illegal structure would be temporary. Those kind of buildings that are erected temporarily on other people's land or government land, by people who do not have where to lay their heads on. So they're just trying to manage like people in the shanties, but this is in the heart of Ikeja. Let me have your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section below. Subscribe to this channel, guys. If you have not already done that, help my business, help my case by clicking on the subscribe button. Even if you don't subscribe, click on the like button. That way we are encouraged, to give you more reliable and authentic news. And this video gets recommended to other YouTube viewers all around the world as well. Lastly, please leave your opinions in the comment section below. And without further delay, let's delve right into the details of today's news. Peter Obi, former governor of Anambra State and 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate, has decried the state of lawlessness in Nigeria after his younger brother's property was allegedly demolished in Ikeja, Lagos, without any prior legal order. In a statement shared via Facebook on Tuesday, Obi narrated how his brother, who had just returned from Port Harcourt, arrived at the company's premises in Lagos, only to find that demolition had begun. He said he was denied access by security personnel who claimed they were acting on a court judgment. Obi said he rushed from Abuja to Lagos after receiving a distressed call and was shocked by what he met. According to him, the demolition team claimed to be acting on a judgment against unknown persons and squatters, despite the property being owned by a registered company for over a decade. How do you sue an unknown person? How does a court issue a judgment in such a phase of a case? Obi queried. No one was served, no name was written, yet they showed up with excavators and begun destroying a structure that has stood for over 15 years, he added. Obi further disclosed that no demolition order or permit was presented on site, and the contractors could not identify who sent them. He said he waited at the location from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., hoping someone would call him back after he left his number with the crew, but no one did. 2 men later came and said we should go to a police station, yet they had no order backing their actions. The whole situation screamed of coordinated lawlessness and impunity, he added. Obi said the incident mirrors what ordinary Nigerians face daily and explains why investors are avoiding Nigeria. He stated, I had a meeting just over the weekend where someone told me he has investments in Ghana, Senegal, and Benin Republic, but won't touch Nigeria. His reasons was clear. Nigeria is a lawless country. If this level of lawlessness can happen to someone with a registered company and legitimate means, what hope does the ordinary Nigerian have? Exactly. What hope does the ordinary Nigerian have if this could happen to someone with a registered company, someone that, is related to Peter Obi, at least that has someone of caliber in their family? What of somebody that does not know anybody? Because now I am thinking that Peter Obi will consult with relevant authorities, take steps to inquire what exactly is going on. What about ordinary people who do not know anybody? Ordinary people who are just trying to strive, who are just working hard, trying to make ends meet. The economy is hard already. People are struggling. People are trying to just get ahead. People are trying to just, there are some families that, are just trying to float. They're just trying to pay school fees. They're just trying to cope just trying to pay rent. They are just managing to pay rent, managing to pay school fees. And with this management and with this small salary that a lot of families are collecting, some people are still trying to put one kobo aside, so that they can have their own property, so that they can have their own building. And then imagine someone, trying to do all that, trying to, haven't gone through all of that. And then you wake up one morning and discover that your property has been demolished. Is that not devilish? Is that not devilish? And nowhere to go to. You don't even have anybody to defend you. Nobody. Who is going to defend you? Who is going to defend you against the government? You want to fight the government? It is well. Moving on. Obi said the worsening human rights environment in Nigeria is not just a personal concern, but a national emergency, adding that any society where lawlessness overrides the rule of law is not destined to be a haven for investors. He concluded by reaffirming his commitment to building a Nigeria where human rights are respected, law and order are upheld, and justice is not selective. I remain committed to a better Nigeria where lawlessness will be a thing of the past, protection of life and property, respect for human rights, care for the less privileged, and basic education for all children, he said. You all let's have your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section, guys. What do you all think of this? Before we go, let's take a look at some of the reactions we got online. The first comment I have here is from Unwachuko Michael, who says, anybody who justified evil acts along tribal lines is painting his ancestors black and demarcating his tribe. What is bad is bad. Government used to build estates and allocate to citizens. Yes. Jakonde, Shagari, and others. What we have these days is government demolishing and destroying for tribal and political reasons. The evil that men do lives after them. Remember. Gabriel says, whenever I am coming to Nigeria, I don't feel happy because anything can happen to you. Nothing is guaranteed. Even your security is 0/100. No lie. No lie. There's no lie. That's fact. Shegun says, you again, as long as Peter Obi is affected, definitely Nigeria is lawless. What a silly statement. So now today you just hear say Nigeria is lawless. You don't know before. If it's not about Peter Obi issue, you have not heard, so it has not happened to you. I pray that Nigeria never happens to you, because if it does, that's when you realize that you have been living in a bubble, because this person or this commenter seem not to realize, the reality of things in Nigeria. Or maybe because it's about Peter Obi then. Moving on, another comment here says, this Obi no get sense. Why? When Soludo demolished some houses in Anambra, the foolish Obi was deaf and dumb. Wow. Amzat Akinyemi says, Omoni Gideon says, Governor Soludo demolished part of Innocent building, even Pastor Itumeje building in Anambra. Did Peter Obi give any comments on that? Okay. I have another comment here from John Ide says, how is Obi part of the lawlessness? The way you people think is alarming. Lastly, a comment from Abimbola says, foolish man, you are just knowing now that Nigeria is lawless before anybody would have been bought down the building. You cannot even speak good English. Must have contravened the law. So stop being stupid. You know the law and if aggrieved, got to court. Hey, now what English? Cognitive says, people should not rush to judge until they hear from the government or whoever is behind the demolition. The fact that it is Obi that spoke doesn't mean he is always right, and his opinion should be followed dogmatically. I don't expect Obi to politicize everything to curry online favors, but I expected him to have visited the Lagos state government and get to the root cause, make his findings well before rushing to the press. You all, let's have your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section. Thank you very much for always listening and watching. I will see you all in my next video. Bye.